Srinivasa Ramanujan was a genius mathematician. Born in 1887 in an impoverished family in Tamil Nadu, he first got very inspired by a book by a famous mathematician, G.S. Carr. The name of the book was A Synopsis of Elemental Results in Pure Mathematics. And then he started having conversations through letters with different mathematicians. Prominent amongst them was the famous mathematician in London, G.H. Hardy. Professor G.H. Hardy invited Ramanujan to come to London in 1913, and with great difficulty in 1914 he finally managed to get him to London in Cambridge. And in the next 4 years, the mathematicians who were there along with G.H. Hardy, they were so impressed by Ramanujan's genius that they made him one of the youngest fellows in the Royal Society. Unfortunately, Ramanujan became ill with a certain kind of disease, and he was in the hospital. G.H. Hardy went to visit him. G.H. Hardy just told him, "I came in a taxi cab and the number of the taxi cab seemed to be very uninteresting and boring. 1729. Ramanujan, in a sick state, lying on the bed, looked at G.H. Hardy and said, "Actually, it's the very interesting number. It is the smallest natural number which can be expressed as the sum of two cubes. 1729 is equal to 1 cube plus 12 cube is equal to 9 cube plus 10 cube. G.H. Hardy was impressed, and in the mathematical circles, this number is still known as the taxi cab number. And then in that period, when he was in a sick state, Ramanujan wrote so many of his mathematical formulae, which recently have been discovered to have major ramifications in signal processing and black hole physics. When G.H. Hardy was asked, "What has been your greatest contribution to mathematics?" he replied, "Ramanujan," in the sense that he was responsible for unearthing the genius of Ramanujan from a remote location in India, and he made him globally famous. When Ramanujan was asked, "What is his take on mathematics?" he replied, "An equation has no meaning for me unless I can see it as a representation of a thought of God." And therefore, Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, "Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritirjnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair aham eva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham." Krishna says, "I am seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness." And therefore, we should know that behind the genius of every powerful personality on this planet is the assistance of the Lord in the form of Paramatma, who, as per our different activities and our desires, He gives us remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness.